Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fall Out of Wrestling podcast. This is the first edition here on the channel, so we've got a special guest here.
Very frequent guest.
He'll probably be a very frequent guest here on the podcast. Well, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Matty. I've been an avid watcher of wrestling since around 1998.
So, well, this is going to be pretty interesting here. So, we're going to cover everything from AEW this week and what's going to happen this week, I guess you could say, too.
Well, kind of a preview of what's going to happen. Well, this is out today, so tomorrow.
Yeah, whenever it gets out, I don't know when it's going to be out, but
Well, we're currently recording this on a Tuesday.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be out by the time AEW comes out. So
Tuesday, the 17th of January. Not January, February. What the fuck am I on?
It's already a botch here. There'll probably be so many of them, but anyway. So we're gonna cover AEW. We're gonna be covering Raw and SmackDown, and we're gonna be covering some other segments like Hall of Fame ideas and Cena possibly appearing on SmackDown.
There's also big news about him at WrestleMania. That's the big news around the internet at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to that. So I think we're gonna start
in order.
Yeah, let's start in order. So let's go Monday Night Raw. So I'll just do like a brief.
I think it started with Drew, not Drew, MVP, didn't it?
Actually, I think it started with Becky and Asuka last week, which honestly, I was tired of the feud. I didn't care who won. It just kind of, it was just there, and Becky, of course, won. And then we had a big moment here in which you could see in the thumbnail, Shayna Baszler attacked her, which kind of looks like maybe like a vampire gimmick is coming.
This wasn't very well received.
Yeah, it wasn't very well received in the wrestling community, but honestly, I didn't think it was a bad angle. I kind of liked it. I would have preferred her maybe putting her to sleep or something like that, but it is what it is. And then we had Becky driving an ambulance, basically like Stone Cold Steve Austin style. I hate to say
Dean
that.
Ambrose.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose type style. Then we had the Street Profits, which this wasn't a big deal, but the Street Profits beat Mojo and all that, and then Riddick Moss won the 24/7 title, which isn't too big of a deal. So that's something really
with that Becky thing. They're trying so hard to make it the next Stone Cold. That's what I was hearing around Mania last year.
And it's not going to happen. That's the thing. Stone Cold was organically grown. She's not really worth it.
It didn't feel forced first time around. It does now.
Yeah. So then we had the MVP lounge, which it seems like MVP is maybe a part-timer now.
He's not wrestling. He's confirmed that he's got a backstage role.
Yeah, he's got a backstage role, so maybe he's going to be doing like Alexa Bliss was and just doing MVP lounges, which is a pretty good role for him in my opinion. I think he kind of fits that role. They need a heel that can do stuff like that too.
Even though he didn't really have a good final match, he did the send-off.
Yeah, that's the only shitty thing about it. Okay, then we had a Rhea Ripley segment in which Sarah Logan interrupted her, which, that's okay. I didn't really care.
That was pretty much a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and then we had Rhea Ripley defeat Sarah Logan, which was cool. I didn't mind.
And Charlotte showed up and basically mind games were played.
Yeah, and we'll get to some of the mind games here in a little bit, actually. We had Ricochet beat Bobby Lashley, which, what else would have happened there? They're trying to build up Ricochet to go against Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown, which is going to be, I think, a decent match, personally.
I don't think the crowd's going to be very, very good for that show. They're not usually for those.
And then we're just going to go down the highlights here. Nothing really much more other to be said than Matt Hardy doing interrupting a Randy Orton promo in which he got assaulted and got a Kachira.
There was the first time he brought up the Edge incident, and I feel like they're on good terms now.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good thing, personally.
A certain amount of is returning this week.
Yeah,
it's Matt Hardy that will not die.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see that. It's gonna be a no holds barred match. It should be really good, actually.
I hope
so.
And
then just finally, I'm just gonna go down the last thing that I really see that really matters, because I wrote down some notes. WrestleMania 37 is gonna be in Hollywood next year, which I think is gonna be really cool. Honestly,
I can already see a few Hall of Fame inductees for that.
Yeah, I can.
A big name being one of them.
Yeah, and I think he'll have his final match at that event, personally.
I think it'll be The Rock. The Rock's going to be...
Yeah, I do too. That's who I was really thinking.
He's going to...
Which, I mean...
He's going to have his... He's going to have his Hollywood gimmick for one last time, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds really good, honestly.
Have it against John.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. The last series between them two. And while we were on the subject of Hall of Fame, so since we don't really cover Impact, I don't really want to cover Impact too because I'm not enjoying the product as of late. So we're just going to fill this in for something for Tuesday's slot. So we are going to go with Hall of Fame ideas here. So currently we have Batista and the NWO announced for the Hall of Fame, which means
there is some rumors around this situation.
Mm-hmm.
One of them being the Bella Twins. I forgot on the other one.
The Bella Twins, and I think it was Yushin Thunder Liger.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was the other one.
And I personally, the Bella Twins perfectly fine with me. I don't think they're wrestling anymore after a double pregnancy. Personally, I don't really see them wrestling as much anymore. Plus, Nikki has that neck surgery thing that she had, so I don't really see her wrestling anymore. So I think Hall of Fame would be perfect for them.
They're trying to get the British Bulldog.
I would like to see the British Bulldog in there, but another name I'd really like to see is Christian. But I don't really know about that one because Christian might be returning too, from what we've been hearing.
They could easily have put the Hardy Boys in. They could easily do that.
They could easily do that too, and I would really like to see a retirement match for them at Mania, but I don't think it's going to happen. They just don't have enough time to build it up, I don't think. Especially with...
they could face... No, wait, they faced the Usos before.
That was a pretty good match.
Wait, if Edge has come back, they could easily get the Dudleys back in.
They could. I mean,
they could do the Triangle Ladder match for one last time.
Yeah, that would be really, really good. Under the comment section, tell us, guys, what you think. Who's going to be in the Hall of Fame? It could obviously include Batista and the NWO. Who do you think is going to be at least the two more females, or like two more females, or like two more males, or whatever you guys want to put?
Also, you can ask us questions and we can answer them all.
Yeah. So, now let's go to the next topic. John Cena possibly appearing as the Basic Thugonomics gimmick again for his SmackDown return. Now,
because I don't think he is for SmackDown, but possibly WrestleMania.
I personally think since like he was that was his last stage that he left in, I think this could be a very big opportunity for them to bring back that gimmick, and I really don't want him to face the rumor opponent that he's going to face at Mania if he does, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I don't think he should face who they're really saying, and I hope it's but
it is Dave Meltzer reporting this.
Yeah, so I
he's currently scheduled to come back to promote a movie. I think it was like The Invisible Man or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I hope it's to set up some kind of a Mania match too. It would be pretty cool.
People are thinking Velveteen Dream, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. He's going to be in NXT for a while. So now I think we can respectfully move on to the AEW show that happened.
Now this is a show I did watch. I will.
Yeah, I heard you cut out a little bit.
But I didn't watch Raw SmackDown this week. I mainly watched AEW and the Aggression documentary.
So let's talk about some AEW here. So we're gonna run over the highlights. We're not gonna run over exactly everything, but we're just gonna run over the highlights because
the opening was the tag team title match between SCU and Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Oh,
in which was an amazing match, I think. And they kind of teased they would get a rematch because of the foot on the ropes. And I really kind of respect that because I like long builds to matches and stuff like that. Like I like kind of like false finishes or like what is that called, like a screwy finish or something like that.
Yeah, they actually built up towards next week's Battle Royal with a big brawl at the end between all the teams with the Dark Order, etc. Oh, it's gonna be a good one.
Let's give our predictions of who's gonna actually win now. Who do you think's gonna win now?
Oh, that's you put me on the spot there. There's quite a few potential winners of that. You've got the Butcher and the Blade could be one. The Young Bucks. Also, next week we've got the Lucha Brothers going after the Tag Team Championships. It's going to be a stellar match.
They do have a big fat card, to be fair. So.
Yeah, next week's going to be this week's going to be a big card. The viewership's going to be off the chin for that one. They've actually had quite consistent viewership throughout this year.
Because they have good I guess you could say good consistent matches, I guess you could say.
Their viewership hasn't left the 800K margin, and I hope it stays that way. This company needs to succeed. It feels like my alternative. It's like a breath of fresh air. But I'm going to have to say it's not going to be the Young Bucks. That was running through my mind. I think they're going to face them either Double or Nothing, which is very likely. But so I'm thinking either SCU or is what's it called? Pride and Powerful in there?
I think so, but I don't know if they written off Santana after that match that he had.
It could be Private Party. It could. Oh, what? I'm gonna go with. Ooh,
I might go save.
Yeah, I'll say SCU.
I might go save him. I'm gonna go Butcher and the Blade because
that could be a good
I think they need something, and plus, I think they were one of the teams that actually kind of they were in that 8-man tag, if I'm correct, and they technically beat the tag team champions because Pentagon and them technically beat them, and plus the Butcher and Blade were in that match too. So I think they could be building up to Butcher and the Blade versus Omega and Hangman.
Yeah, I think that'd be a right match. But I don't think we'll have new champions with that match.
Yeah, definitely no new champions. I don't think they're definitely building up to the Bucks facing them.
The thing is, with this company, we don't have hot potato with championships.
Exactly.
Like they don't swap hands every single pay-per-view. One major gripe with the WWE I have was I remember when we had this Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair feud. Every single week we'd see a title change, and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I can understand that. And I honestly think, obviously the Lucha Bros are going to lose, and I think we're going to get Butcher and Blade versus them at Revolution, personally. So I think that's going to be a decent title match. And must we go on to one of my favorite feuds going on in wrestling currently?
But we also could have Kenny Omega and Hangman lose. And we could have Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. I think it's 4 currently.
Maybe the 4th. That's a big possibility too. And then Hangman could get his heel turn, and we have Hangman versus Kenny at Revolution.
That'll be Double or Nothing feud, I think. No, that'll be All Out. I think All Out.
True. That could possibly. That'd be a big match.
He'll do the turn in Vegas, I reckon.
But let's go to one of my favorite feuds currently in wrestling. I'm gonna say MJF versus Cody, and the cage match is this week, and I'm really excited for the cage match because we haven't seen a good cage match in a while.
I haven't seen Wardlow, so I've got big hopes for him. He looks like a total package.
He does. He kind of reminds me of like the 2003 Lesnar,
He
2002
doesn't
Lesnar.
even need a talk. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can have
That's why.
MJF speak for him.
Yeah, he just needs MJF speaking for him, and I think this match has big potential, and I definitely see Cody winning this, obviously. But
I have an idea for the finish. I have a finish for this match.
Go ahead.
That he could actually throw Cody through the cage,
That's very big.
like the RVD and Kane spot from 2000, and I think it was 3.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite cage matches. I was going to say that's probably one of the best cage matches in history.
Or an MJF heel tactic will backfire.
Possibly. Okay, then we have another huge match announced for Revolution. Jake Hager's debut is going to be against Dustin Rhodes, and I'm really excited for this.
I'm intrigued. I hope this match gives his career a new bit of life, because his WWE career wasn't the greatest. His MMA career has been pretty decent. He hasn't lost a fight yet. That last fight was a bit controversial. I don't know if it was a storyline ploy for AEW. It might well have been. But I definitely see Jake Hager pulling this off.
Yeah, I definitely do too. I don't really see Dustin winning. I do want to see Dustin. Me and somebody else was talking about this. I definitely want to see him win a world title.
He will,
because he never got to hold.
Or even him and Cody could be tag champs again.
Yeah, that could be a really good plot. Or he wins a mid card title or something. I think he's a mid card title person too, and I think that this is where they need to kind of use Dustin in a way where he was never used in WWE, in my opinion.
And with Arn Anderson by their sides, it's going to be a lot more greater for them.
Mm-hmm. And should we talk about one of my probably favorite moments of the show? I think you know what's going to happen here.
Was it the women's title match?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I really liked the women's title match. It was probably the best showdown between Nyla and Riho, and I don't. Okay.
We did have some feed issues in that. Well, I did.
Yeah, I didn't. I do like that spot, like the rope hung like knee thing that Nyla does.
I first saw that Fighter Fest. I think it was on Riho. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Yuka? Is it Yuka the other one?
Huh?
Is the Yuka that fairy?
I think
the one who got her teeth knocked out by
yeah, that's Yuka.
Yeah, she I think it was either done to her or
Riho. I think it's always been done to Riho, as I've seen. But that is one of the most beautiful moves I think I've seen a woman perform, in my opinion. I really like that move, and Nyla did come out with a victory and is the new AEW Women's Champion. Personally, I thought that was one of the best matches in AEW for women's wise, personally.
I can't remember, I'm trying to think of a standout women's match from that company.
Maybe the Fatal 4-Way. I don't know. Do you count the Tessa Chelsea in that match?
No, that was All In. No. This wasn't on the All Elite banner.
So,
anything from Double or Nothing onwards.
Maybe Double or Nothing, the Kong match. Kong, Nyla, Britt, and...
Yeah, that was an alright match. I'm trying to think what else we had. What was All Out? Was there a women's match on All Out? I actually can't remember.
I actually can't remember, but I think this personal match for me was my favorite women's match. So,
and I know people really do dig on AEW for their women's division. I mean, they're trying. They've just started. They can't really do much about it yet.
I think they need to get people like Taya Valkyrie or something, kind of to help the women's roster out a little bit more, because the Stardom roster, having Riho and all them, that's not helping any because they have contributions to Stardom, so they can't really do much for their contract.
With Nyla being champion, we've actually got a champion that's there constantly.
Yeah, we've actually got a champion that can actually defend, and I hope they book her like a month.
They will,
and it looks like it's going to happen.
I think it could lead to Double or thing versus Kong, or
That would be a really good match. And okay, moving on to the main event. I really enjoyed this main event.
Actually, before this main event, we had Jericho, Le Champion, in a backstage interview with the Inner Circle. He said he hired a hitman, a mercenary, to take out John Moxley, that if he could survive Santana, and his name was Jeff Cobb. And I wasn't here. I wasn't in the room when this. I went to get a drink or something, and then I came back to hear that Jeff Cobb's been announced for the next show. I'm like, ooh, and I was like,
Yeah.
he's going to do well in this company, even though he actually hasn't signed yet.
And do you think he's going to sign?
He's working for Ring of Honor. He's doing he's doing dates for everywhere now, so I think they could get him whenever they need.
I personally think they should sign him and sign Jay too. I think Jay would be a good person. And no, I'm not talking about Lethal. I'm talking about White. But Lethal would be a good addition too. But still.
Cody did a recent interview over in the UK. He said he's willing. The door is open to work with New Japan. It's just the question if New Japan wants to work with them.
And we'll also, I mean, there is Marty does now head book Ring of Honor, so possibly we might get a partnership between Ring of Honor and AEW too. And that would really work out because I would pay money to see Chris Jericho win the Ring of Honor World Title personally. I would pay money to see that. And I'll tell you the reason why.
When is the New Japan Dynasty show?
I have no idea.
It's the Madison Square Garden one.
I have no idea. I'd have to look
because
it up.
If it's not near Mania time, is it now? They could easily get the AEW partnership by then and do a dual show.
I mean, personally, I would like to see Kenny back in Japan, personally. And I'll tell you the reason why. As I've said to multiple people, I think Kenny's kind of lost his touch, per se.
I think this is intentional.
I think it is, too, personally.
He's building up his character.
I just think he's personally lost his touch. And, I'm pretty sure it's a character like that he's portraying himself as, but I would like to see more of the cleaner side of Kenny, you know.
He's not throwing himself into big situations.
I can appreciate the Cody and them not throwing themselves into big matches straight away. I can appreciate that, honestly, because that's how kind of WCW kind of flopped in a way. They just threw the big talent.
David Arquette got the world title near the end. Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear that. That's bullshit.
But Moxley faced Santana in the main event. It was a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Moxley
in my opinion, that was a really good match.
Moxley now has his own eye patch that you can get from AEWshop.com. I don't know if Santana has one because I dig that too. I have to look that up. They're both, I think Moxley's is $15.
What are we trying to promote AEW's shop now?
No, I'm just saying that they've capitalized off a angle here.
Now I gotta put it in the description and shit. But
Moxley won. They actually did a really good spot at the end where Moxley was blinded by, I think, Ortiz spat some sort of
Ortiz hit an alcohol.
Yeah, he spat some alcohol in the good eye of Moxley, and Moxley he banged his back against Santana and then flipped around, hit the paradigm shift, and then got the win. And then this is where the Inner Circle would come out of the skybox and basically
they would have sold and they would have him. And that was amazing, personally, because Jericho, he's the cocky son of a bitch, we all know.
And then Jericho looked at the stage and said, "Come on out." And then we heard someone.
And then here comes Jeff Cobb.
And then we hear some unknown music. Jeff Cobb makes his way at the ring.
And I thought that was absolutely beautiful. Honestly.
And then he hits the tour of the islands on John Moxley in preparation for the match next week. Well, this week.
Well, but anyway, I mean, there's many dream matches Jeff Cobb could have here.
Luchasaurus is one of them for me.
I think that's happened in Lucha Underground, but we'll just keep that a secret, I guess.
Or Jake Hager could be much, even though they're in the circle.
Yeah, it could. Like, if Cobb loses, what if they like turn on Cobb, kinda, and then like it builds up to like Cobb's their enemy now, and then Cobb fights off the inner circle.
I think Cobb versus Dustin would be all right. Cobb versus Pentagon.
Oh my God, Cobb versus Guevara.
Oh, that would be a decent match. Cobb versus Pentagon would be a stealer for me. I want to see Cobb. I also want to see Cobb Cody as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good matches they have potential for Jeff Cobb, and honestly, I mean, I'm excited to see what they go for.
Because we've got Revolution in a week from now.
Wait.
I think on the 29th is Saturday. We've got 2 matches.
Again, we'll try to get out our predictions beforehand.
We'll do that the day before, which is a Friday.
Yeah. So we got that out of the way. Now let's talk about the cat tag. So we just had this last night. NXT Takeover.
You've missed SmackDown.
Well, we don't want to talk about SmackDown because that was shit, personally.
Well, you kind of have to.
Well, fuck. Okay. So, I'm just going to run over the basics. Look it. So we had Carmella versus Bayley basically in a title match, which I wasn't really too fond of. I mean, it was decent, I guess. Bayley was kind of like a roll-up, which I assume is going to be, we have Carmella versus Naomi this week, this Friday. And personally, I think it's going to be a triple threat at Super Showdown. Bayley versus Naomi versus Carmella, in which Bayley's probably going to retain, and then Sasha Banks moves on to...
That's if Sasha Banks returns from injury.
And I think I don't... That's fine with me, personally. So, personally here, I didn't really enjoy SmackDown as much. I mean, I watched some of it, but like, we're gonna go down with the highlights.
SmackDown is meant to be the better show.
I mean, kind of, but Raw's been the better show in my opinion so far.
I do know of a segment that was cut from this week's SmackDown, actually.
Which was?
It was to do with the Fiend. They were gonna do with the same thing that they were doing with Bray and Hogan, but they were gonna do the double personality thing where the Fiend would come and strangle Hogan, making him pass out, while Bray was still doing the Funhouse thing.
Why didn't they do it?
I don't know. That's just something I read.
That would have been beautiful, man.
It would have upped the Fiend's credibility.
Damn. But anyway, let's just get the cat out of the bag. We got Goldberg versus the Fiend. Do we think that
Goldberg's not winning? I don't see him winning.
Do we think that Reigns is going to face Goldberg at Mania?
It's not going to be a title match, surely.
I hope it's not. I will be so mad. Because
I think we're going to get Roman Fiend. That's a safe option.
When I keep saying the Fiend, Bray has worked on his character so much that I don't think he deserves to lose the title, personally.
I think he's going to face Roman at Mania still. I think that's still on.
I don't care what anybody says. The Fiend should keep the title for at least a year. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I personally think that he's worked on his character so much that he deserves to lose to the person he wants to lose to. Because, like, he's worked on his character so much that, like, he's put so much effort. He even got, like, 5 or 6 masks made for, like, media and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think he deserves it for character development. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Fiend needs to hold over, because when he loses, the crowd are gonna kind of turn on what's going on.
I hope. I didn't want it to be to Bryan either, because I don't really like Bryan personally. I liked him during his tender as like the Planet's champion type thing, like the heel Bryan.
I loved him when the crowd were well behind him, wanting him to get them in a event.
That personally, yeah, I can see your point there. So then I think we're gonna go with the main event, which I mean we're not really going full in detail on this SmackDown because there wasn't really too much to go by, you know. So we had the main event as Bryan and
Roman?
Reigns. Yeah, versus Morrison and Miz, which Morrison and Miz took the loss, which I'm really disappointed about.
Kind of weird, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit because, and personally, I think Miz and Morrison are going to win the tag team titles at Super Showdown, which I'm really excited for because they were actually really good tag team champions, in my opinion.
But watching Super Showdown is going to be a bit of a slog. It's going to be a long show.
I don't really like it, but
it's going to be it's like a 4-hour show.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it for a review.
Sure. It's early for me when it's on. It's like 3 p.m.
Yeah,
it's going to be on.
It's like 1 o'clock for me, I think, or 10.
In the afternoon.
Yeah, something like that.
Or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, probably 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's not bad then. We got Beast in the East at like 10 a.m. here.
It's not bad.
You got it like 5 a.m.
Yeah. But so that was pretty much for SmackDown. We didn't cover NXT, but I mean I didn't get to watch NXT because I was busy watching AEW. So
that's what the morning after's for.
Yeah, but well, now you just sounded like a morning after pill or something like that.
Oh my god.
Nice going.
It's not what I intended, but alright.
Well, I mean, you still said it, so there's that. But anyway,
what the next day is for.
So we got the NXT Takeover show,
which I wasn't around for. I was currently sleeping during that.
That was really smart. So the show started off with the Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic match.
I've seen clips from that match, actually.
That match was amazing. I enjoyed that match.
I saw the Hurricane Rana from Keith. I saw the plancha to the outside from Dijakovic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's all I saw.
And Keith Lee ended up retaining, but it was a really good match. So, I mean, I didn't really care. It was a really good match. I enjoyed it. So,
Dominik could have turned after that.
He could have. I mean, it didn't happen, unfortunately. So, then we had Dakota Kai face off against Tegan Knox in a street fight, which I thoroughly enjoyed, honestly, because I'm a big fan of Dakota Kai. I'm a big fan of Tegan, and it seemed like kind of like a blood personal feud, you know?
Which didn't have any blood, which I kind of understand what this.
No, I've never seen a woman bleed in a match, honestly.
I have Beth Phoenix.
Like a dripping blood, like in Crimson Mass?
I'll have to go back and look.
I'm sure I've seen a woman in history that's had a Crimson Mass.
Candice.
But anyway, so I like the addition of Raquel Gonzalez, aka Reina.
A lot of people don't know who she is.
A lot of people didn't know who she was, but that's the whole point. I really enjoyed her presence, honestly.
I've never seen her before, personally.
She was from the Mae Young Classic and 2 different Mae Young Classics. She's really decent, but that table spot, Tegan fucking fell on her head. Like, literally.
Apparently she got a lot of hype, but she didn't land on the right area.
Yeah, that was shit. But anyway, Dakota Kai picked up the victory, so it seems like that feud's continuing until Tampa.
Yeah, that's ending at Tampa. Like another
good feud, honestly. So then I believe
it was Finn.
It was Finn versus Gargano, and which was an amazing match again. Very back and forth.
The right man won.
Yeah, in my opinion. So he hit like a shotgun dropkick from the announce table, actually, and then he hit the 1916, which is the same thing as a Bloody Sunday, isn't it?
No, yeah, it is a Bloody Sunday.
Yeah, so he basically hit the Bloody Sunday for the victory, and Johnny Gargano got really frustrated. So that's gonna come into key at the main event, which you'll learn.
And I think after that was the tag championships.
Yeah, then it was the Broserweights versus the Undisputed Era, which again another good match, honestly. Which I mean, what did you?
I kind of think here the Era should have took the win.
I think so too, but I think this was a good tag team for it to lose.
Unless after WrestleMania, the Undisputed Era go up to the main roster.
I'm really thinking about they're going up to the main roster. They don't really. It doesn't really need to lose.
Or this could be their first WrestleMania this year. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. So, but the Bruiserweights did come out with a victory after a combination to, I believe it was Bobby Fish. I believe. Don't quote me on that, but
I do have kind of a prediction for WrestleMania with these guys, actually, with the Undisputed Era. They could, since the Undertaker and John Cena are scheduled to be there, they could make a statement with these two. They could actually lay them out.
That would be a good statement to attack.
Like it was like the Shield coming out during Taker's speech after, I think, who did he beat?
That would be really good, honestly.
I think it was WrestleMania. I think it was after he beat Punk. The Shield came out during Taker's speech.
That would be really good. Adam Cole versus the Undertaker, imagine.
Like Undertaker could be doing like a retirement speech this year. Adam Cole, well, the Undisputed Era could come out and lay him out. Easy.
Yeah, that would be good booking, honestly. Or do it.
Or they could do it with John. One of them.
They could do it with John and then set up John Cena versus Adam Cole, in which Adam Cole goes over. Yes, yeah. I enjoy that. But then we had Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, and which was a lackluster match. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
People are saying Rhea shouldn't.
I don't think she should have won. I think it should have been just.
But the thing is, how are you going to do Bianca versus Charlotte?
No, I think it should have been a double count out, personally. And the reason being is I want to see a triple threat, personally. Triple threat between the three. 2 or 3 of the best women's wrestlers in the company, in my opinion.
It could still be that.
It could still be, but how are you going to do that after Bianca just took a clean loss?
I don't know. She did attack Charlotte last week.
Unless she pinned Charlotte, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless. That's a very possible.
Because Charlotte's going to be hearing on NXTs from now on, isn't she?
Probably. So hopefully maybe Bianca could sneak in there. I'd really like to see a triple threat.
But what I'm wondering is Charlotte going to keep appearing on Raws?
Probably not.
They're doing it well.
So, okay. So now we have the main event match, and we got to talk about this because something big happened.
Someone did send me a video of a big bump during this match. It was Adam Cole doing a wheelbarrow backdrop.
Wheelbarrow flex type thing.
Yeah, and Omega hit his neck.
Ciampa hit his neck. So Adam Cole did come out with a victory, but what was shocking was Johnny Gargano turned heel on Tommaso Ciampa, and I was like,
he was going to hand down the title, then he pulled it away.
That was like a holy shit moment because I'm a big Gargano fan, and I've seen this meme on Twitter that like they go, well, like when Gargano, when you want to stay in NXT, you come up with like different solutions on how to keep staying there. I was like, yeah, that's kind of how Gargano.
They were going to do this match last year or something, but Tommaso was injured, so this is where they're doing it now.
Yeah, this is going to be a good sequel, I think. So we got that, and I really want to see a triple threat match, but I don't think it's going to be a triple threat match for Mania. I think Adam Cole's going to have somebody like Keith Lee, personally.
I don't. I think he's already champion.
Well, I think it's undeniable. I think they could do a double title match, possibly. Do they really need to do that? Probably not, but I could see them doing something like that.
We could have Cole versus Balor.
That's a very big possibility, too. I was thinking what could Ben be doing, and I don't really see the North American Championship.
Oh, I've had an idea. The Undisputed Era could turn on Cole, and they get a new leader.
That's a big possibility. And what if Gargano's that leader?
Oh, it could be Gargano or Finn. Finn's good at leading clubs.
We should know.
No.
Well, so we got into NXT TakeOver. Now, we want to talk about the ruthless aggression thing going on the network.
I think they're releasing an episode every day, which is good.
I hope it's every day or every
Apparently, it's either I think it's a 4 series or 6. I think it was 4.
But let's just talk about one thing that really caught my eye was the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brock Lesnar qualifying match for King of the Ring. And that's something that I didn't really know about, to be honest. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really keep up with wrestling during that time.
I used to watch. I was watching wrestling reviews from back then. Well, not back then. So this guy I subscribed to, he reviewed shows from 10 years ago, and we were into only 12. I also heard about it in Stone's documentary. That's the bottom line on the WWE app. And he also had it on Blu-ray as well. And it was it went into great detail about it, and they also made WWE Confidential episode about him where they just basically talked down Steve Austin, and it was just weird. They basically made that to basically crap on him, basically.
Well, I think he should have put over Brock Lesnar, in my opinion.
He was going to. He didn't want it on the Raw episode. He wanted it to be a big money match on a pay-per-view with a bit of build. That's what he wanted.
I could see that. I could see his point. And I honestly am really excited to see what else this Ruthless Aggression series has.
Because they could do Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, or Eddie next, one of them.
I think Eddie's next, personally.
Or it could even be Brock, even though they've just mentioned Brock leaving.
It could be Goldberg's addition to the Ruthless Aggression, maybe.
I think it might be Batista. Or Randy.
That's a possibility. Let's see. Is there any more topics we really got to talk about?
We got the Cena one as well.
Yeah, we got the Cena. Did we? Oh, okay. So John Cena was rumored, he is confirmed to appear on SmackDown just to probably do his movie. But
yes, the Invisible Man.
But there is a rumor. Speaking of which, that Elias versus Cena could be a Mania match, and the Basic Thugonomics Cena comes out and actually has a match.
As per Dave Meltzer.
And I'm really excited to see that, actually, because I love the Basic Thugonomics Cena. I like his style, and it could really be good. Honestly, this match could be really decent. I think Elias is a good performer as well.
It might not be a match. It might just be a musical. They might have a sing-off or a rap battle, one of them.
I could enjoy that too, personally, because Cena can bust bars. Trust me. I think everybody knows that by now.
I'm surprised The Rock's not going to be in this one since it's in his home state.
I think he will. I think he'll be the host again. Personally. But I think we're going to try to end it here, guys. If you guys have any questions for us down in the comments, feel free to ask any questions, and we'll try to get to them in the next podcast. Go subscribe to Matty's YouTube channel. It'll be down the link in the description down below. And we will see you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.